Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ESLOL Second Division broadcast here on Rift Entertainment. Tonight, I shall be your host, but as usually, I will not be alone. And this time around, I will have by my side none other than the one, the only, the bearded QG. Welcome back, QG. Look at him go.
Hello again. Hello again. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Quick.
I'm good. Pretty tired. I just changed the tires on my car. I was pretty sporty. Had to go real fast. Yeah, came just in time for
Yeah,
this.
you,
But
you
yeah,
you were too fast, too furious.
and I inspired myself on F1. Only I don't have like electrical tools to do it, so it was all handmade. They should really hire me. Actually, it was pretty
You
impressive.
you had to do the Guido impression. Throw up the tires, screw
Yeah,
them, and then and everything's gone.
yeah, it worked.
It's the it's the best dude car changer tire changer ever.
Yeah,
Just Guido from cars.
I did the Gita from Cars. I did Pixar. What is it? Pixar?
Yeah, yeah, it's cars. It's Pixar.
I never know between them and the others. But yeah, and enough dilly-dallying around. We're here for a reason, of course. That is ESLOL second division here, the second division of the Benelux circuit. And I think we have quite a few matches up ahead because we are in general in a very interesting season up to now. And today we will see quite a few interesting matches. Maybe we can get the schedule in front of us so that you can also see it for yourself at home. Yes, starting off with FULLCLEAR ESPORTS, from whom I've seen a very funny video on Twitter today, going into that meme war that's going on between the teams against Once Upon a Team, who got their first win this year. Congratulations, Once Upon a Team. I was at home and I was so hyped for that win. So yeah, they will be going up against first, followed up by Aurora and Riftslovs, one of the most anticipated matchups, I think, for this split, as both Aurora and Riftslovs are going really strong right now. I believe Riftslovs going 4-0 and Aurora having only suffered one loss, I believe, on Friday. Next up, we will be taking a look at Jormagang and Dynasty, one very well-known team here in the second division of the ESLOL, against one of those newcomers coming from the amateur circuit. And last but not least, we will be taking a look at Next versus Pertinax Esports, once again, one of the newcomers from the circuit against one of those old-timers here that were there from the spring split.
Yeah, you talked about the Twitter war.
Yeah.
I unfortunately missed it, but I will get back at the break because I'm interested in
Yeah.
Twitter war.
You have a lot of catching up to do. There is a lot of banter going on. And notably, I mean, I mentioned the FULLCLEAR video against what, but Aurora, I believe most specifically their mid laner Zylex, has been very active going up against Riftslovs, which are kind of the undeniable masters of the meme game on the Twitter
Wait,
sphere.
who is the master of the meme game?
I would give it to Riftslovs. They've been going at it since the spring split.
I know who runs the account. So
I'm forced to say it. I'm held at gunpoint here. No, but I mean, incredible banter from every team that participates. It's really funny to see. There's amazing content.
Yeah, you also see in the on the Discord, there's a lot of talk. There's more talk than the spring split, I think. So the players talk, they say GGs to each other. There's a little bit of banter going on, and also some critics or anything else. There's gonna be the scene is developing, and you see that in these Discord chats. Actually, I think it's really good to see that we are improving, and we can only move up, down.
Yeah, there's this really interesting thing because like, this format of the Elite Series started off with this year with the Spring Split. Last year it was still a country locked, so you had the Luxembourg tour, you had the Belgian tour, you had the Dutch tour, and then they gathered around for the Masters tour. But with this format, you see recurring faces, because I saw in the chat the other day, I saw Skellen, who played in the spring split for Dynasty, and if I'm not mistaken, doesn't play in the Elite Series, but still is interested enough to go check the streams. So over time, it really does seem to have its own community forming, and as you said, even more activity on the Discord. That's really nice to see. Keep it up. It's the only thing I can say, honestly.
Yeah, and as long as there's a healthy background, there's also a healthy table, especially for the Sloths and Aurora, who are on top, and FULLCLEAR are following Aurora with the same points and the same win and loss streak. And then we have next, and we just jump into the Select.
I think we're talking too much,
but
yeah.
we have this. Yes. Well, let's see if Once Upon a Team can keep up their win streak today against FULLCLEAR Esports. There's already a Lucian and a Jace ban and a Hackerin ban, and a Mundo ban, of course. And I think Daniel told me last week that the most bans against FULLCLEAR Esports are target bans, because they are mains of their. There's a Hackerin main, there's a Mundo main, and there was another main, but I don't remember.
I know that the Mundo was this weird pick that was picked by Gallop in the jungle, if I remember correctly. So they have these really specific picks. They're really strong on that pop off. So interesting. And yeah, Zeri-ban, I mean, we've seen that every game almost, or it was picked. A really strong champion currently.
Yeah, and Once Upon a Team is probably forced here to go for the Yumi and Milio, who are the strongest supports out there right now. They're going to get nerfed next patch, but we don't see that. And yeah, you can just pick Yanni first. She's good against LeBlanc. LeBlanc is one, if not the strongest mid laner right now with the static build that we talked about actually last week. I found it funny and I saw it, and now I'm hyped for more. Yeah, we have the Vi typically. The Vi is still good, and we have the Camille. He's a good split pusher.
Yeah, I mean
probably
the Vi also very good to pick here in advance, because you see Emilio, you expect a very important AD carry in general. Right now, you expect a lot of important AD carries. Vi always really good to pick that one out, go in with the Season Desist to just nuke someone down. Really good.
Yeah, and Annie can do the same.
Yeah.
It's a flash R and you're stunned. But there's the Rek'Sai. She got some changes. There's the TF.
Yeah, she's been coming back.
No AD carries.
Rek'Sai, I believe recently she used to be played in Assassin type of build, and right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's more of a Bruiser build that's starting to come back. Survives a bit longer. Also has the same type of ultimate almost as Vi. You know, you can jump on one enemy, stick to them. Rek'Sai is really good at sticking to people. And yeah, overall she's got a bit more visibility in the bird form, which is always nice.
And there we have Rakan and not Yumi. It's still not. It's already locked in. But yeah, we have Rakan, so they probably try to force a Xayah ban here from FULLCLEAR Esports, or they take the Xayah. That's I think on the list. Yeah, there's the ban. Of course, you almost have to ban the Xayah if Rakan is taken, because they're a couple. They're good. Then you have Poppy out. It's also good against Rakan and Vi with the dashes. So it's also a good ban. You can play it in on top side. Actually, it's very good. And then you have the what do we have? Will they also ban another AD carries the thing? No, they ban Fiora. So they're probably trying to go for tank next to Xayah. With the CC, it's a good pick up. Also to follow up the Rakan and Vi, it's actually pretty good, and it's also not that weak in the current meta with the on-hit that is going on. I saw some funny builds. Also, you can play her AP with what? Yes, with static shift. But I don't know. I read something that there's a handshake that nobody picks LeBlanc with static shift, but I'm not sure about that. You can play how you want. And there's a Philios with Melio. That's hot. It's gonna hit.
Ooh, yeah.
I saw some clips of the pro scenes and it didn't look good for either Zeri or
Yeah, and
the other
outside of
AD
FULLCLEAR
carries.
ESPORTS, we have some CC, and yeah, Clad now could be. They need something to be able to stand in the front lines a bit, to peel a bit more for the affiliates. I feel like they do have some with the CC going on, but I think a bit of more peel would be welcome. A Clad is in the front line, also allows a very explosive engage, on top of having something like a Twisted Fate that just chimes in with his own ultimate. Rek'Sai that also joins in afterwards, so that's really nice to see.
Yeah, and also you can follow up
Mm-hmm.
good. The moon speed of Kled gives you a really good follow
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
But my problem is here there's a lack of magic damage, and there's Garen picked up. 4 top lane against Kled. Oh. Yeah, we see a Garen. I have never seen a Garen in a couple. Never mind. I saw Garen bot once, played by Reckless. I remember these days, but in the ESLOL I didn't see an Garen. I haven't seen one in a few games. No, he's good. He always a decent pick. But with this comp, it's actually not that bad. With 2 who engages, 1 who can silence up anyone who comes near to Xayah, or you just silence up someone and then just explode him. But no, I'm a guy of go buttons.
Yeah, you're the
My
man.
statistics goes up if there is a go button on the team. So I think Once Upon a Team could take that because they have 3 go buttons, and FULLCLEAR only has 1, 2.
Yeah.
2 go buttons. And I think that changes some stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, on sides of Once Upon a Team, we have quite a few. You have the Season Desist, you have the Tibbs and Rakan Ultimate, which alone are pretty strong go buttons. Going on in, I wouldn't consider Kai'Sa's as one, because it's. I mean, she just goes in, but right, see, yeah, that's the follow up.
Yeah.
And definitely a lot of
Therefore,
explosivity. So.
Yeah. The go button is on Once Upon a Team side. They also have they lick the blood of winning, and they start turning into Vladimirs to soak the blood up, you know.
Yeah.
So they want more blood and they want more wins.
They're gonna go 6-4 from here.
Yeah.
How many games? Small games played. What am I talking about? Anyways, just
we're
not
on
gonna get
week
any losses
3.
now. There we go.
We're on week 3. So I think next week is already half. Wait, I have to check. I'm gonna check it. Yeah, next week is already half
Split
the games, and then we go back to revisit games actually. Yes.
Yeah, and we have the return games, and then we're already headed to the playoffs so fast, so quick. But yeah, more on those things, and I think it's really interesting you say with the go buttons. What happened? Okay, I opened the damage. They have a lot of go buttons. On the other side, FULLCLEAR does not have that much answer to it, because they have a lot of follow-up. They have the Kled that has himself an engage button, so to say, a go button, and brings a lot of follow-up with it. Then you have this, I would consider a Twisted Fate to also be a follow-up Rek'Sai as well, because they have this condition before they can just go in. They can't just go in whenever. Twisted Fate goes in whenever, he dies. Rek'Sai literally can't use her ultimate without that prerequisite. And they're good for the follow-ups, but they don't have much to disengage afterwards.
Yeah, but you have to look at Aphelios wants to, as Aphelios you want to that champions run into you. And with Melio you enhance that because you up the range by 20%, and that's the point. The range where Aphelios wants you to be in is 20% bigger, and if you engage as Garen, Vi, Rakan, and you dodge one of these, and you also will probably build the Gale Force after the Kraken Slayer, so the thing that they want to be ran at is could be the mindset here, because TF is good if you run into him, because if Vi engages and you get yellow card at the right point, you're stunned for the whole thing. Emilio comes, kicks you back, you get knocked up. Well, that's the dream, the dream team fight, and you just get shredded by Rek'Sai. You also said she got some changes. She had to, because the Prowler's Claw interaction was gone, because they changed it from a mythic to a legendary, and so Rek'Sai, I think they are going Strike Breaker on her.
Yeah,
or
there was some Stride Breaker and some more bruiser.
Yeah, or maybe they go Triforce, because the item is pretty good, strong at the moment. So there's either Strike Break or a Triforce, and either of that is good. The sustain got changed, so building Bruiser is more cost efficient because of the heal you get. Well, the heal is not that big anyway, but it can still help in the early phases and into the mid game. If you just poke with your underground Q and you get these Fury stacks and you consume them, you get health back. So you get rewarded for poking. And I think they also changed the Q cooldown, and they reverted a nerf back then. The sonar she has is also on 1 second and not on 1.5 anymore. And then you see that the thing, you see the enemies better, and that's also good to have information if you run into an unwatered jungle, but only if they walk actually, and it's also.
Well, we'll see how all that goes as we're headed into the Summoner's Rift, dear spectators. FULLCLEAR esports on the blue side going up against Once Upon a Team, who, as you've said it, they have tasted blood once and they're in for more, coming in with a very go-buttony, a very aggressive team comp here. And I think, you'll tell me what you think about this, but I think we're going to see quite a lot of action in the jungle. We have pretty aggressive junglers, both junglers who also try to look or like to kind of annoy the enemy jungler and go counter jungling.
Yeah, and also junglers who can gank pretty nice. Rexer can gang over the wall. Vi can just Q flash. He's pretty fast with the follow up of, or as follow up from Rakan. And also it's a lot more bot focused. Oh, will it be statics TF with rapid fire? Yeah, give me these static games. But yeah, it's kind of normal at the moment. Both junglers start at the top side, so there's no map split.
Yeah, the rest. And that start into the game, FULLCLEAR, who are starting to build up the pressure on the bot lane, should be able to get level 2 first without any issue. Once Upon a Team knows that early on enough. Take a step back, not get run down.
Yeah, and also TF started Longsword. Oh man, we're gonna see the static shift. Damn it. Rito, please.
I'm sure you've paid like some of the players to just play static shiv in some way. Could that be?
No, the item is on Mage is really broken. I don't know if you saw the LEC. The static shift dealt 20% of LeBlanc's damage.
Yeah, I did hear about
damage.
That,
So it's obnoxious to have something like this, but we see maybe a gank here.
Yeah, as Nicholas just around the corner, Mirror is baited in by his counter attack. We flash in with the Q. First blood does go to Mastu, mid laner for Once Upon a Team.
Yeah, and there's the first blood for Once Upon a Team. There is that's good. It's good to keep the temper up for the win here. And now they are on both junglers on red buff, going for bot croc. So we see some action on bot side in like 30 seconds. Nomad and Sky Ownage are pushed in. So no Rek'Sai, yeah, because Vi can't go for the scuttle because FULLCLEAR have priority. And we just see it die, leave. There's nothing going to happen.
And good reaction of Nako there. Just don't even try. Go back to your jungle, clear the gallop as well. Decides, okay, I'll go for double scuttle here. If it's there, good. And if not, gallop can easily back. Here we have the engage. Disengage as well from EFO.
Yeah, the Rakan poking is quite funny. And from other supports in my opinion. Can go in, knock someone up, auto attack Q and just jump back. And you kinda won the trade. Knock up the right person.
Yeah, and FULLCLEAR keeps that pressure up on the bot lane now.
Yeah, that's just range diff from here on. Kai'Sa doesn't have that good of a range. I think at level 6 the lane could shift. We see a top gank here.
Yeah. Nako coming in for the sneaky lane gank. Last Lunia hasn't seen it coming. The Q will connect, is forced to flash away and able to jump back with this platform.
Yeah, Nico with the dab here.
Nico? I was confused, I thought the chat was...
Oh, the jungler, Nako, sorry.
Ooh, the knockup does connect on sides of what. That's some nice damage to get on Nomad. Should be able to give them some form of breathing room. Galab also immediately going for that Drake. Knowing that Nako was top lane, going for the cross map play here. Bot lane's priority, it's no issue whatsoever. Nobody can annoy them.
Yeah, but yeah, it's also a Cloud Dragon, so it's not that important for Once Upon a Team. It gives you slow resistance and some out of command movement speed. It's good for roaming around, and then we will have probably a hack stack dragon or chem tech as the thing is on the top. They still didn't add the things to the spectator. Yeah, Rito. Fix your spectator. I would really be happy if they would fix the spectator. So like low budget tournaments could be
so much better. That's true.
Yeah. If I look at the API the LEC has, that's awesome. Or for broadcasters would really be cool. I don't know how it is to make an API.
Well, having some experience in it, having like dabbled with it, it's not too complicated, but it does take quite some time. Using the API is more or less easy. It's more having something that looks good on your front end afterwards. Nako coming in to the bot lane. We have the connect from Yufio. But FULLCLEAR's bot lane is too cautious for Once Upon a Team, and Nako stays sitting in the bush, unbeknownst the enemies.
Yeah, they're just gonna dive here.
Yeah, with the Season Desist, decides to go. Q does not connect the Season Desist onto Nomad, followed up by a second knockup from the support. Yufio picks up the kill. Fortunately for Once Upon a Team, it does not go to the AD carry.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but well executed dive. Nako got 6, and then they just hit the go button and like that. just hits. Oh, I think. I think we have we only have vision from Once Upon a Team right now, so that fixed up because we don't know where Gallop is. I think I think Rek'Sai will be on red buff.
How good is your jungle tracking skills? We'll put them to a test.
I think she will be on red buff because it's up.
Yeah, it's in general. Okay, we just see the Raptors just went down. So she is going for her bot side clear now. As it just comes up, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and we see the vision is being put down.
Yeah, and we might be thinking maybe Neeko will look for another gank on the bot lane. He's been coming quite a few times. Maybe we want to have Gallop in that area, you know, to either respond to a gank or do a gank himself.
Gallop is still bot, and they are looking for probably a bot dive with TF moving bot side, and Gallop is on Crux. It's got killed. But yeah, and there Gallop is. Not to be
There we go.
there we go.
Meanwhile, top lane. Thank you, Automated Spectator. Definitely, there's intense thing going on here.
Yeah, I think the action is gone. The top poke is strong for the direct hammer.
If Mara coming in with his ultimate, they should be able to get vision as well on Neeko.
Look.
Oh, but with the ward as well. Golden Cut is up, is coming out. We have pressure coming in from FULLCLEAR. Once Upon a Team reacts in time, Yufio is able to survive. But now we have Master joining in. The situation is kind of diffused.
Look at the item TF build.
Rush. It's over.
Yeah, game is over.
Harold block down on the mid lane. Get this platings. Mary. So close to the next one. Drake is up very soon. Gallop has just backed. Built indeed Stride Breaker, as the item we mentioned earlier.
Oh yes. It's a good choice to stick on the target, and you can also use it unburrowed, because they changed it that it doesn't have a auto attack animation, so you can just hit it when you want. It doesn't interrupt anything. You can even hit your tunnel E and then just Stripe Breaker to do the damage.
Maybe coming
we
in.
see a bot gank.
A nice reaction from Sky Ownage. And the situation has turned around. This FULLCLEAR that's going in, but Yufio decides to find purchase. Neeko really low, has to flash under the turret. Lower and lower. They arrive better way, but FULLCLEAR Esports is gonna finish up this tier turret and first turret of the game on the bot lane with this play.
Yeah, and they will also do the second dragon right now. They don't need Sky Owners, they just go with Nomad and me here. And you see that the damage is done easy peasy.
In the meantime, Lost Lunio went to the mid lane, pushed that in. That turret is really low now. Mary should be able to finish it soonish. And he would have been in range to react and join bot lane fast enough if things would have shifted to a more dire situation.
Yeah, but if you... It's not that easy to push against TF. And even with the item he has, is so good wave clear.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
the
hard
thing.
To push against that.
With static shift, he should be able to take that turret rather easily, which is really good for him because if he can like push his wave in, he doesn't even have tier 1 turret, so he can push even stronger. He will have so much agenda to use his ultimate and be a real threat across the whole map.
Yeah, and also like you do a red card into the static shift proc. And the wave is clear.
Yeah.
If you have enough AP, and Yeah, you see Kaisa went also for it, so it's gonna be an AP Kaisa. Probably.
Baker coming into the top lane. That Lost Lunio has seen him coming with the Tribush Ward. Herald is being looked at, not there yet. You might get caught here by Gallop as the smite falls in. Its way with the dash.
Oh, that Poe. These towers. Yeah, and Nomad went for the Storm Razors. And not for the Kraken Slayer. Not so much. Yeah, we maybe see a gang on top. But the turret is going down mid, yes, that's good for FULLCLEAR ESPORTS. They're kinda getting back into the game, they're now 3k ahead, so they weren't very far behind. But the first blood and the 2 kills for Once Upon a Team are not that scary. Because they just have minion advantage. Oh, there's a gang again.
Yeah, we have a gang on the middle lane here as the season resist lands on the enemies. We now have the top lane joining in. Skybonage is the first one to fall. Tibbus is really low as well. Is going to fall soon. Yukio has to be careful. Is able to flee, but Gallop is going to pick up the kill against Neko as the rest of Once Upon a Team is pushing in. Nomad and Merrick. 4, 2, 3 members here. Once Upon a Team is able to... Oh, very nice damage coming in from FULLCLEAR ESPORTS. Nomad here as they pick up 2 kills on Once Upon a Team, turning the tides of this battle. They're now 3 versus 2, and Gallop is going for the kill on Smoothie.
Yeah, you saw the 200 years ultimate right there.
Yeah.
Get hit in the face, get bursted down, and you just turn the team fight around. It was very good engage, and then they lost nobody in the first thing, and then the ult hits and everybody starts to die because they stacked up. Also very nice weapons that Aphelios had there, and then you see that Rek'Sai just went full ham. And also with the Strike Breaker.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really good for Once Upon a Team, and then came out No Man's Ultimate, turning absolutely at highs, and then you had Gallop, who was... I mean, Rek'Sai is perfect for that, to catch those last stragglers who try to flee, right?
Yeah, also to know where they are, the ultimate. If you hit someone and they flash out and do whatever, you can just follow up a certain distance.
There we have the clear.
There we have the wave clear. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're an AP static ship user, you just clear waves. Yeah, but FULLCLEAR back on kills, so 4k ahead, and now we see
boosted Drakes. Now they're gonna keep the pressure up. They're putting down Herald in mid lane. Once Upon a Team is looking for Nanya, showing that 2 members on the top lane. They are in the numerical advantage, are able to pick the shutdown on Nomad and keep push going. Now they're gonna pick up Gallop, have to be careful. Finish up that Herald. Bionage is able to get on the turret, but Once Upon a Team reacted really well to the 2 men on the top lane. They're now in numerical advantage. FULLCLEAR ESPORTS lost their main AD carry. I mean, Nomad and Gallop, who has the 3 kills, most items. Keep the push going. You have to be careful not to get too much damage.
That went for the Ravenous Hydra, and not for Titanic. Let's see.
Once Upon a Team
Yeah,
is now able to pick up that Drake. Marin, a really good reaction, stayed on top lane, said, okay, it's no use for me to join there. Let's just push. They pick up a 2nd tier turret. That's also a lot of gold going into FULLCLEAR's pocket, who, although they lost this fight in the mid lane, have a 5k gold lead now. Eric coming in. Gold card is up.
Nomad has ultimate.
Yeah.
It was... Oh, and we see...
It's the gold card. Lands onto Master, who is gonna die. Now Neko decides to push Gallop a bit further away in the hopes of saving the rest of his team, but UFO is gonna fall. Luckily for Once Upon a Team. Smoothie and Neko are able to survive.
Well, if Nomad hits one there with the green Q and hits with all these chakrams, then somebody is going to die.
Yeah, Slonia joining in, and Octomalus, although survives quite a bit of time, they're able to pick him down.
Yeah, but the clad ultimate was awkward. Is that the dog skin? That's the Clad one. Oh no, it's the dog.
Oh, Neko looking here for the engage of Season. This is onto Nomad. The damage is coming in, and they should be able to guarantee that kill on the enemy AD carry in the meantime. Lost Lunio in their backline all alone. Shouldn't be able to survive for too long, as 4 men onto him will be able to pick up the kill.
Yeah, and then you can do stuff like that if you have a Kai'Sa. Just ult someone with the Vi ultimate and just you always have follow up if she's in range, and then you can just semi overextend. So the enemy team, oh, he's inting, but no, I'm not. I have a Kai'Sa on my back and I'm not inting. You see, I'm killing you. That's the point that I said, that the Kai'Sa is really good with the Vi. So you can just hit the go button and just go in.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Once Upon a Team does take advantage of it really well. I mean, they're still having a hard time heading on FULLCLEAR head to head, but they see the opportunities to get a pick, and they take that pick successfully, and that's very important for them to get back in terms of gold, try to close the gap in terms of gold. It's here, Ufio is gonna get caught in a trap, is able to flee hopefully with that flash. That is gonna go in. The tower dive is engaged. Smoothie just explodes at the hands of the enemy team. Ufio is also gonna fall just afterwards. The rest of Once Upon a Team came from behind, but they're now caught in between the members of FULLCLEAR. We tried to pick up the kill on sides of Mastu, who gets really low. No, it's Lost Studio who picks up the kill. Now Neko really low, has to be careful. In their own base, Gallop is going to take the kill on them. Luckily, for Once Upon a Team, Octomalus is there to shut the Rek'Sai player down, as well as Nomad, but all alone against the 3 last members of FULLCLEAR Esports is not going to be able to defend that in hit.
Yeah, and I think this is okay. Never mind. I want to say they could push it in, but the chicken back and want to finish here.
Yeah, and we can see here on sides in terms of gold where the leads are like spread out. They're pretty well spread out in terms of in sides of FULLCLEAR Esports. We can see Mara way ahead in terms of gold, like first one to breach the 10k barrier through sheer farm. Look at this farm, perfect farm.
Yeah, and TF also enhances that farm with at least 1 gold more when you hit the dice. But that's also turret plating, turret gold, inhibitor down.
Yeah, although he was at a disadvantage in the early game. Look at that, he played this perfectly. He was 0-1 in the lane, didn't die a single lot of time, kept farming, and look at him now. He's the richest player on the Rift.
Yeah, it's TF, man. Now there's a rapid fire cannon. He has 3 items and he can just stun you from afar. And you can nothing against it. It's gonna go and and he's split pushing because who can stop him? He's just gonna kill him.
Once Upon a Team here setting a trap for Gallop, and they do pick up the kill on them and keep the push going against Lost Lunio alone. See those situations they excel at, but at what cost? Because Mara is at the bot lane, ready to pick a second in-hit turret from them, and surely keep that push going for a bit longer, as long as they can. Drake is now up. Once Upon a Team is probably gonna go for it.
Oh, you know what? And Nomad just ran top lane, ignored everything, and is killing the top tower. This is peak macro, man. And they are contesting the dragon.
They need 2 people to stop him, and 3-3, FULLCLEAR wins without any issue. They're ahead in gold. Lost Lunia is going to round out Ufio, while the rest of his team is going to finish off Neko. Octomalis has now joined in with Garen speed. That's it. With 3v2, they can't do much. Mastery is really low as well, has to be careful. Gets picked up by Nomad. And that's the third Drake soul point going to FULLCLEAR as they also finish up the top lane inhib. And I think with that, we have a chance to finish the game. Let's see how that goes as Neko finds the engage onto Nomad. The route is there. With Season, this is a lot of damage falling on the enemy player. We get the gold tap out on Octomalis. Mary is there. Survives long enough for the rest of his team to join in, and now Octomalis is gonna fall at the hands of Lost Lunio.
Yeah, and there, Once Upon a Team can't take the lead that they got from the first and the second blood to here to the mid game, and now FULLCLEAR eSports are just going to the Baron and trying to kill him. This is the Rek'Sai is so far ahead, really well farmed. The 3 kills and 1 assist she got from the team fight was very good. To get her ahead, she could buy Momoris like that. So you also see the damage. That's hello and Bruiser. Yeah, and Emilio picks up Ardent Sensor also on the second item. Kaisa is going for has the Jinso and is going for the is that Nash's 2? I think.
Is Mary also picking up the Elixir? Convinced that in any case this is probably game. I mean, inhibs are open. FULLCLEAR has Baron. This is the perfect situation for them to finish. They come in with big waves, with the Baron buff, with old advantage. Once Upon a Team will have to do their best to huddle up and defend that.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to defend.
Look for the engage. Neko coming in with the Season Assist. If you're right behind him, is able to follow up really fast. We already have this station for Nomad, who is gonna not survive. Yes, first one to fall here on the sides of FULLCLEAR eSports as the rest of Once Upon a Team is able to round off Gallup as well. The 2 main damage dealers, but Mera is just pushing and taking the game at home for FULLCLEAR eSports with Zadie.
Yeah, the X-Becky here. What if he, yeah, let's just take the Nexus and not the fight.
Yeah.
Who cares? The objective is killing the Nexus, Mihir is just doing it. And yeah, that's GG for FULLCLEAR eSports. They are now 3-2. And Once Upon a Team couldn't. The taste of blood was maybe a bit too much in the early game. They couldn't transition that to the mid game, and so FULLCLEAR eSports they found better. The comeback team fight for FULLCLEAR was very good. Rek'Sai got 3 kills and 1 assist, and then just had 2 items at that point, and then she could just roll out and just kill everybody. And that's going to be
First game of tonight, going to them. FULLCLEAR eSports taking the win against Once Upon a Team. But we're not over for tonight, as we still have 3 games ahead of us. The next one being, if I'm not mistaken, the long-awaited matchup versus Aurora and the Rift Sloughs. So definitely stay tuned for that, dear viewers, as we'll be back shortly after a break for that game.
Ich bin der Daniel und das ist der Nani. Und wir wollen nicht heute, wenn du Summoner Stand zu laufen wirst. Kommt Mod.
Spiel Summoner Stand bei diesem League of Legends Turnier, Mod.
Oh nein, das hab ich gekillt. Guck, kein Bock mehr auf League. Ciao.
Beweis den Treffsicherheit bei diesem Bierpunkt-Turnier.
Oh, ich hab das so gewonnen. Das ist kein Spaß. Ciao.
Oder genieße flotten Abend mit der Community.
Eine Straße, viele Bäume. Ja, das ist eine Allee.